So the World Economic Forum kicks off today in Davos, Switzerland. PricewaterhouseCoopers says global chief executives are more confident about the economy and the near-term prospects for their companies than they were a year ago. Meantime, Ford South Africa announces safety recall of models produced between December 2012 and February of 2014. Plus, the International Monetary Fund says Kenya's economic growth rate will slow in 2017 from about 6% last year. Hello and welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us. I'm Boosting Abafai live here from Channel's global headquarters in Lagos. Now we're getting started. Global elites descended on the Swiss key research for the World Economic Forum, including political bigwigs. Oxfam have published a damning inequality report. According to the paper, just 8 individuals, all of them men, own as much wealth as the poorest half of the world's population. The report has called for action to curtail rewards for those at the top.
According to the report, released just hours before world and business leaders meet at 2017's World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, the gap between rich and poor is far wider than had been previously detailed.
What matters is that they do debate this issue and that when they go home, they play their important part in correcting this warping of our economy.
The report, titled An Economy for the 99%, details how the world's poorest people lose out in the global economy. Oxfam says that economic inequality and a feeling of exclusion from the benefits of globalization contributed to the political upheaval of 2016.
We've got our country back!
Including Britain's decision to leave the European Union and Donald Trump's presidential victory in the US.
I think there's strong evidence that those ruptures in our political system are in part to do with growing inequality. People are feeling less involved in the success of their nation and their society and more dissatisfied with the status quo.
The report is calling on leaders at Davos to tackle tax avoidance and to increase levels of taxation to create a more human economy.
Meantime, we're sticking with Davos, the ski resort in Switzerland, where global chief executive says they're more confident about the economy and the near-term prospects for their companies than they were a year ago. Although the impact of recent political upheavals top their list of long-term concerns. A PricewaterhouseCoopers survey of nearly 1,400 CEOs released on Monday on the eve of the annual World Economic Forum in Davos found that 29% of them expected global economic growth to pick up in 2017, up from only 27% last year. The survey found 38% were very confident they could increase revenue growth in next year, up from 35% at the same time in 2016, which was a 6-year low.
The CEOs told us they're optimistic about growth, but concerned about increasing risks, including government intervention and regulation. We also heard from the CEOs their willingness to invest and think about the opportunities in China 5 times at the rate of what they're doing with India. What you see is a significant percentage, 38%, of the CEOs being very confident in their ability to raise revenues. A slight increase from last year, but nonetheless an increase compared to the volatility that we've had over the past couple of years. You also see a slight increase in their confidence in the economy on a broad-scale basis.
It's about 2:30 p.m. in South Africa, where the GSE, the largest market on the African continent, is trading water as we speak. About an hour and a half ago, the GSE all-share index is around 52,847, down by 0.6%, now about 0.75%. The Nigerian market is at about 2/10, worse than it was yesterday. These are intraday numbers. You see that the Nigerian market has been dragged down by the consumer goods segment of the market, down by 1.11% about 5 minutes ago. Look at the Egyptian market, trading seriously green against the rest of the continental marketplace. And you can see Kenya's closing markets on Monday, a green shoot there with concerns over the next elections, general elections in East Africa's largest economy, and of course the decision to talk to the IMF. Let's get to Europe, where some of the stories are very big as we speak. Theresa May, the UK Prime Minister, is speaking, and she says the United Kingdom still look at Europe as a big market, not membership, that they would want that whatever happens with Brexit, they will move on and get the bigger deal of trade deal with the rest of the world. That's one story that is happening right now as we speak in London with the Prime Minister. So let's cross over to Frankfurt. My colleague Lars Holter is on standby to give us an update on this, and as well the Germany car story with Donald Trump, the incoming U.S. president. Lars, good afternoon. It's good to see you. Let's get on together with this conversation. The U.S. dollar is down today. European equities largely in the red, but of course it's good to see the German DAX over your shoulder there, giving us some green shoot, as it were. UK Prime Minister Theresa May is currently speaking about what will happen with the UK, the expectations when the final deals of Brexit is finally hammered out, as it were. What exactly those investors and traders are hearing right now from Theresa May, and how is that affecting the marketplace?
Well, it seems investors here in Frankfurt at the stock exchange seem to be quite happy with what they're hearing from Theresa May, and that is just easy to see. If you look at the DAX board behind me, it went up pretty steeply here during the speech of Theresa May, which is actually still ongoing. It is not as easy, though, to see why that happened, because Theresa May didn't say that much in terms of new things. She actually confirmed, as we had known before, she would confirm that she is looking to go for a hard Brexit, not a soft Brexit. Hard Brexit meaning leaving the EU and leaving the common market. She has said a couple of things that sounded very positive and very optimistic, but then again, of course, she's a politician. She's the British Prime Minister, so of course she has to sound optimistic. I'm going to quote a couple of things. She says, "We guarantee, of course, free trade. Britain wants to be a reliable partner, and most interestingly here, she says they want to start doing business around the globe, and she has started reaching out to other countries. We are